Going to talk about what do the youth want. So it's all about talking about what issues affect you at home. Yes, so that's what it's about, and I'm excited.
Yeah. So who do you have lined up?
Today we have Ajiri,
Brian, yes.
Brian, and Gitonga also, who works with the youth as well, Youth Nation.
Yeah.
So they'll be my guests today.
Love it.
And I can't wait to hear them inspire and what they have to say.
Yeah. Okay, why aren't you asking me who I have?
Oh, sorry. You know, I think it's all about me. Anyways, yeah, now that we have to share the limelight. Catherine, who do you have on your show today?
Do I get her off Mondays back to Friday? What?
No.
Let me know. Advise me what to do with her.
I have moved in with my bags. I'm not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere?
Yes. So,
you're here to stay?
Yes.
Okay, so today we want to highlight the young people between the ages of 20 and 30 who are doing amazing things.
Yes.
You find that lots of people, especially the young people, just want to be on social media complaining about the government is not doing this, who is not doing this. So we want things to be done for us, but what initiatives are we doing ourselves? So on All Things Motivation, we just want to say, look, we're the young people between the ages of 20 to 30 who are doing amazing things, who've said we're not staying at home, our work will not be whining and complaining, but we're stepping out to just make something out of our lives. So we have 3 amazing stories, and you want to be there an hour from now to catch us. I think we need to release Mugure to go have a conversation with Brian and Gitonga.
Okay.
And we'll catch you later.
Cool.
Okay.
See you later.
Ciao. Sayonara.
But today, we are going to talk about what the youth want this year, 2020. What is it that you guys want? Tuambie hapo social media. And hapo tu, #KTN Life and Style. Let us know what is it that affects you. So today I'm joined by a lovely panel. I'll let you guys introduce yourself, starting from my right.
Yes, my name is Mo Brian from Centum Investment. I'm the lead developer of the Ajiri application and also the lead of cybersecurity division in Tribus TCG at subsidiary under Centum Investment. Yeah.
My name is Gideon Gitonga. I am the Secretary General of Youth Nation. I'm also a business analyst, and I'm the lead project manager with Sotika, which is a wealth management solution that seeks to increase household incomes in the country. We advise people on business, and we lead the youth at Youth Nation. We address what their issues are and be able to articulate them and ensure that those issues are addressed by the government and the relevant agencies.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you also give the youth opportunity to work with you guys?
Yes, we do.
There are those chances and opportunities.
Yes, we do. We have a couple of programs that we've been able to develop that are geared towards increasing the purchasing power of our young people. We influence from policy to market linkages, where we connect our youth to specific opportunities that are there within the job marketplace. And we are very strategic in the kind of structures that we develop. For example, we are running a program with the United Nations, which is very key in terms of empowering the youth. It's called Pesa Kazi, where we are trying to connect the youth to funding opportunities that would allow them to be able to carry out the 30% opportunities they get with the government in terms of tenders that they are getting. So those are some of the things that we are doing. We are doing a lot of other things that are akin to that, and it's about empowering the young people, both from policy framework formulation to the implementation of those particular policies, to coming up with the programs that are very key to them being able to actually meet what their specific needs are. Yes.
Maybe you can tell us briefly what you do exactly in Ajiri. What's the Ajiri app about?
Yes, so the Ajiri app is an application that was launched by Centum through its subsidiary in May 2019.
Yes.
And it's a platform, mobile platform, that is keyed to link employers to employees to break that gap between the workforce, the experienced workforce, and potential employers. And because we realized there was a very big gap, most of the youth said there are no opportunities, and also most employers said there is no qualified skill to fit the needs, our needs as employers. So we had to come in as the private sector and help bridge that gap, help identify the opportunities that are there, help identify the skill that is available, and if the skill is not yet to the level that employers are looking for, how can we upgrade that skill so that it fits that specific role? that they need to play.
Yes. You're both youth in the youth gap, and as you said, most youth say there are no opportunities out there. So what was different about the two of you? What made you what is the inspiration behind it, especially the fact that you're both in a field where you're trying to help out the other youth?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would want to answer that question by looking at what last year was, what 2019 was. We've looked at even what the past decade has been. We've looked at the national gross savings have gone down from a high of 13% to 6.1%. We've been able to see that our debt has been able to grow over that particular period of time. So which means the opportunities that were there for the young people have continued to dwindle over time. We are channeling over 1 million people into the job market every year, but our jobs are always going down. You know, companies have been shutting up. We've been closing up last year. It's been quite hectic. That those opportunities have become thin and more thinner year on year. So basically what I would say is that we've been trying to encourage the youth and do something called financial investment literacy. We've been trying to grow their levels of understanding and their levels of looking at what opportunities are there, how they view those kind of opportunities. For example, you've heard of this saying that people look at a glass being half full, others look at it as being half empty. So with every problem on the other side is called an opportunity. So it's about the mindset, how the youth are able to view the problems we are facing as opportunities for them that they can actually be able to take advantage of. So that is very key for us. And for us to be able to do that, it's about educating them. Financial investment literacy. Right now, the economy is being driven by digital literacy levels and financial investment literacy levels. And in terms of policy, we are saying this needs to be inculcated from as early as 14 years. People need to start having basic financial literacy skills. Do you know how to manage your debt? Do you know how to see opportunities? Do you know how to lead a balance sheet or a P&L of a business? These are basic skills that our young people need to have, because they are going to bring that kind of a mindset that is going to make them start seeing problems as opportunities.
Brian, for you, was it based on experience, or what is it that inspired you to now come up with this app and also empower other youth?
I'd start by saying innovation is the mother of so many opportunities. And personally, I'd say I was somehow very lucky because while I was still in the university on my second year, actually on my first year I became a student leader, and through that I was grouped properly by the school and friends, and during my growth I was able to meet mentors. I was able to be part of also the board of the school, deciding on the welfare of the students. And that gave me opportunities to explore. So by the time I was graduating school, I had built up my confidence on how to approach prospects and pitch my idea, sell myself out and get an opportunity. So I first worked in a real estate company, something that was not related to my career, because in campus I'd done IT, information technology. Once I was there, I started learning how business operates in our country. And after a couple of years and of months in work, I was lucky to be part of the first team to be trained on national cybersecurity for 6 months. And in this time, I was very lucky also to find now people who well performed during our, in 2012 while we were doing our KCSE. And I had a lot to learn from them because they were really sharp and gifted kids. And together we grew. And towards that time, I had now combining the experience that I had from school, transitioning from school to work experience. We were able to sit with them and realize that, yes, most of them, they had the perception that opportunities they've heard from other people that once you graduate, there are no jobs ready for you. Compared, as I always said, compared to the time of our parents, what they said, once you graduate, you'll find a police Land Cruiser waiting for you outside to take you to the next job. So for them, they said there were no opportunities, and we had to sit and discuss together. So we formed a team of 5 guys, one guy from Turkana, a lady from Kisumu, a guy from Kericho, and one guy from Kisii. I'm from Makueni. So we had to start now designing the application. How can we bridge the gap, knowing that we're already gifted and we have the skills? How can we create an application that is able to link the experiences and the skills that we have to our potential employer? And I visited my business mentor, Dr. Chris Kirubi, who I'm always pleased, and he led us through, and he told us it's true that you guys, young people, are skilled and they are well gifted. And also as employers, we struggle to identify the right people to employ. So he introduced me to my MD, he's called Mr. James Nicole, and we're able now to design the application, having the mindset of how the employer will look at it, and also how employers, the people who are looking forward to be employed, will look at it. So joining our two ideas, we had a walkthrough, and within 11 days, the application was coded from scratch and developed, and in May last year it was launched. Once it was launched, this actually was a couple of months after the signing of MOU early last year between Centum and NYS to establish opportunities, because we realized there are so many students who are graduating from the National Youth Service, but the government was in a way like struggling to find opportunities to place all of them. And one day while we were having a youth leadership forum at the University of Nairobi, students approached my MD and asked them, we've heard that you guys already are doing something with the National Youth Service, but what about the other youths who are not part of the National Youth Service? So that is what the drive that drove towards establishment of the Ajiri. And once it was launched in May last year, we were able to open opportunities for very, very many thousands of opportunities for the youth. And on the by the second month, we had actually over 5,000.
Wow.
5,000 users, and out of the 5,000, I think we had over 1,000 youth who had successfully transitioned from both short-term jobs, that is from the blue-collar sector, plumbers, you know, masons and all that, and also in the white-collar, that lawyers, people both got short-term jobs, season jobs, and also long contractual basis jobs. And that even, I think, is what drew people, the MasterCard Foundation globally. They came to hear, listen to our idea and what we were doing for the youth, and transitioned. They granted us with a grant around, I think was around $1.4 million to now set up Ajiri centers countrywide. And that's what you'll see from now onwards, from January. As we roll over to the next few weeks, you'll start hearing us opening a couple of Ajiri centers across the country, just to enable the youth to get jobs and connect them to the workforce that is already there.
It's very inspiring. So now we're talking about, what do the youth want 2020? What do you think, Kitonga, the youth want?
Yes, so the youth have been having a lot of problems. As I've told you, we at the Youth Nation have been at the forefront to address key issues that the youth have been having. One, debt is a big problem that the youth are complaining about. Most of them have been negatively listed on CRB. Most of them are not able to pay their other facilities with the other banks, including help. So those are some of the things that the youth are complaining about. So to address that, I would address key issues that are affecting the youth. To address that, we have made some proposals that we really would want to be able to see being implemented. The first one is we want voluntary debt restructuring to be recognized as a way of settling debt. We want the young people to be given an opportunity to negotiate with their creditors, and that be recognized as a debt settlement mechanism that would allow for them to be deregistered from the CRB. Number two is we are also asking, as the people who speak on behalf of the Youth Nation, can our youths be given, right now when you graduate from university, you are told think of business instead of being employed. So businesses take 3 to 5 years to actually turn around. So we are saying, can they be given a bigger holiday, more than the 1 year? Can they get 3 years as a holiday for them to actually be able to repay back their student loans? So that is one of the things that we are looking at. Number two, incomes have been a big issue for our young people. They're not able to access jobs. And I like what my colleague is saying with what they're doing with the Jiajiri. They're creating a lot of job opportunities for our young people.
Yeah.
But again, we are talking about, if you want to create opportunities, you have to stimulate the economy to be able to generate those jobs. And that's about creating entrepreneurship opportunities. So funding has been one of the issues that the youth has been facing. And as you know, we've been looking at the 3 affirmative funds being joined to become Biashara Fund. The first thing is we are saying, let the government deploy technology in terms of disbursement of these loans. It becomes easy, it becomes much faster. In India, SME loans are being disbursed within 3 minutes, because we are able to analyze businesses. When you do credit analysis, we're able to do the past and the future. In Kenya, we are only concentrated on the past. How has your business performed? What assets do you have? Young businesses don't have assets. They don't have cash flows. They're not able to show revenues. So what we are saying is, can we develop mechanisms by which we're able to finance businesses based on their future? What are the future projections? What are the cash flows you're actually looking at? So the first thing is we are saying, we need to employ technology in terms of loans disbursement. We need to overhaul the policy of giving loans, because one way, this group mechanism of giving loans, when you're forming a company, you form a board of directors. The board of directors is informed by the skill set within the members of that particular board. But the youth that are being given loans, they're told form a group, vijana come together, then they are just given money and the money gets lost. So what we are saying is, let it be informed. Number one, we can give loans to individuals, we can give good ticket in terms of loans to our young people, and we can be able to employ technology. The other 3 is we are looking at other services that can be able to spur credit to credit or financing to the young people. Number 1 is a credit guarantee scheme for SMEs. When you go to a commercial bank, you ask for a collateral. A lot of young people don't have assets, they don't have plots, they don't have cars to secure these facilities. Can we have a credit guarantee scheme where the fund, the Biashara Fund or those youth fund or whatever fund, can be able to guarantee the young people facilities with commercial banks? That would be able to unlock credit. Number 3, and these are some of the proposals I'm telling you about, is we have been pushing the Capital Markets Authority to overhaul its mechanism of allowing private businesses advertise for equity capital. My colleague here, Jiajiri, is very lucky that one of the billionaires is
mentor.
No, I'd pick it up from there and maybe also correct me that it's not to Jiajiri, it's Ajiri. And you see, most youth have the wrong perception of it's been lucky that maybe you're mentored by these people. But I'd say it has to go down from discipline. How do you discipline yourself? Because even if you have the richest man in the world is your friend, and you don't have the right discipline, you don't have the right attitude, it will not be of help. And that's why I'd say, as he mentioned also, that we have so many loans and so many loans and opportunities for the youth.
There are very many apps when it comes to taking loans. Is that, would you say it's a good thing or a bad thing? Because now you find yourself getting into so many debts because now you download all those apps. So you have like one where you take, your maximum is like 5,000. The other one is like 600. The other one, so you find yourself taking from all of them, and then now you're in debt.
Let me comment on that, because that's our space. Number 1, I've been a proponent of regulations coming into the microlending space. I think digital loans have made our people more poor. I would say that. Why? Because the loans you take on mobile phones are small loans, 1,000 to 5,000 shillings. The average loan is 4,100 shillings. These are loans that you may primarily use for consumption. When I am borrowing for consumption, I'm becoming more poorer because I have to pay at a premium. So it's making me more poorer. And that's the reason why we thought of it as a problem, and we created Sotika to become the solution to that problem. Debt management is one of the biggest reasons why most of our people are distressed. 72% of the people who are taking loans are distressed, and they have taken loans from at least 7 platforms. What does it mean? I take loan here, pay this, take loan here, pay this. They're not able to become sustainably sufficient eventually in terms of being dependent. So Tika allows you to become sustainable and dependent. Number 1, it allows you to do something called debt management. If you have to borrow, for example, how many people say This year last year I handled 1 million shillings. But in December, they had nothing to show for that 1 million shillings that they said passed through my hands.
Yeah.
So what Sotika allows you is to do something called passive savings. On every transaction you do, through your M-Pesa or through your bank, you are able to save something small. Then we are saying, this something small you've saved, for heaven's sake, if you have handled 1 million shillings last year, why is it that you would go to someone and borrow 1,000 at 15%?
Yeah.
That's been extorted. You can borrow that money from yourself, so that when you need money, you are actually taking money for investment. Okay. And that is what I was talking about as my other solution for young people, because you asked what do the youth need this year. Yes. So the other solution is,
what they need and what do they want? What do they really want? Because,
what do they want? Yeah. They want their incomes to grow. They want their incomes to increase. They want access to funding. So the point I was talking about was for CMA to open up private. A lot of young people have a lot of good ideas. Yes. My colleague here had a very good idea, but these ideas require funding at some point. Human capital is good, but also capital, good cash capital is also good. And when a business is starting, it does not require debt, because it has no cash flows and no revenues. Okay. So what we are saying is, can we open up the equity market to be able to invest in these businesses? Yeah. Every year, there is 78 billion worth of shillings that Kenyans have to invest in new businesses. Someone opening up a new salon, a new kiosk, a new what. What we are saying is, let the Capital Markets Authority allow private businesses advertise to raise equity from Kenyans. And the way they can do it is to accredit investors. Let them accredit investors, then when I advertise, I only admit accredited investors into my business. This will open up 78 billion shillings to go into businesses by young people that are very innovative. As of course he said, innovation is the next frontier. Young people are innovating. We run an incubation center at USIU. A lot of those young people have innovated very good business ideas, but they have no capital, they don't have anything, they don't know where to get these investors and these venture capitalists to come and be able to invest. They just hear one company signed a deal for $5 million. In Silicon Valley, you just come up with anything and you're able to raise $5 million, $1 million. Yeah. We want the same things to happen in the country. Okay. Let that young person who come mashinani, the person who doesn't know where to go and pitch, can they be allowed to advertise so that their business is out there, and these VCs, these individuals who are 500,000 somewhere, 1 million shillings somewhere, can see those opportunities and be able to invest in them. That market can be opened up, and it's a policy thing. Let CMA review that particular policy. Number two, what the youth want. The youth want an income. The fifth thing that you're proposing as the Youth Nation is that let I think the BBI last year was able to propose that there be a tax holiday of 7 years. That's a very good proposal. We really hope, however it's going to go through, that will be one of the things. The other thing is, we are saying, let SMEs be involved in the pension schemes. A lot of young people who get these fast jobs, I think even what Jajiri is allowing.
Ajiri,
yes, Ajiri. I'm sorry for getting it wrong the second time. What Ajiri is providing, these are fast jobs for fast people. Yes. These SME businesses don't actually pay pension. Why? Because there are no incentives for SMEs to pay pension. So young people are worried. If I get to 50 years, to 60 years, I'll still be looking for a job because I have no retirement. Yeah. So what we are saying is, can there be a policy to provide incentives to SMEs in terms of tax incentives or whatever kind of incentives, so that SMEs can start paying pension for their employees. The young people will be able to have money for retirement, and then the money that is being invested for their pension, the incomes, the yearly incomes that are coming through, can be channeled to them as income. You get it, eh? Yeah. You get it. So it's about overhauling. What I always say is, the youth need people, civil servants, who are working for them, that are able to understand what their key problems are and are able to provide solutions that are innovative and speak to their current problems. Okay. I always say this as a final thing. I always say this: policy is made for people. People are not made for policy. Let's have policies that address the needs of our young people. Yes.
So, Brian, maybe you could tell us, before we take a short commercial break, how easy or hard is it to start a business? Because Gitonga here makes it seem like it's a simple thing. It's just the youth are not aware about it. But you see, from where they're sitting at home, they don't know if it's possible to start a business. They probably have a mindset of, these days even school is nothing. You get your degree, but kazi ni kujuana. That's what most of the youth think. So, and then they go out looking for jobs, they don't get jobs, and then they just sit at home. They don't know how easy or hard it is to start a business.
I'd say it's not that hard to start a business. I always say with the right attitude, you'll get to the right altitude. And it's all about just having a vision in mind and having the passion for whatever you want to pursue. Because we live in a land of so many opportunities. And opportunities, by opportunities I mean, we just need to try not to be, to duplicate what people are doing, but to set ourselves in a position where we are able to think about new ideas and just watch the market and see how the market looks like and what is the demand that will address most people. If you provide a solution that is addressing the human element as a problem, of course such a business will grow. For example, I'll give an example of what we are about to roll out this year. We are going to set up 10 Ajiri centers in 10 different locations, counties. And one of the things that we'll be doing in these centers will be training the youth. Training the youth on things that they didn't get the opportunity to study from school. Actually, I always thank God because of having that transitioning element from school and into the corporate world, where you get to realize, to meet so many people who have gone to different schooling systems, and through that you're able to learn a lot. So we have been able to come up with a curriculum that is going to favor the students on the county levels. And once we train them, be it on business startups, be it on life skills and all that, CV writing and all that, we are able now to give them the opportunity to get what are their talents, what are their abilities. And also we help them identify their abilities and talents. Once we get that, we train them, and after training them, we give them an opportunity to start a business. And the way our approach will be quite different. We are not loaning out. We are watching to grow with them. For example, we'll be training barbers, we'll be training saloonists, and such people, once we train a barber, you see, there's one thing between training a barber and the next thing whether he's going to get a job. Once we train them, we are going to give them machines. And once we give them machines for shaving their hair, we are going to help them identify opportunities. How will we identify these opportunities? Already we have started partnering with both primary schools and secondary schools. If you went to a boarding school, you realize that most students get shaved during the weekend. So we go to a school, we approach them, we tell them, through Ajiri, we have 30 trained barbers from this region and would like them to come shave your students. And through that, we've helped this young man who had a talent and who had a skill but is not yet tapped. Not because the opportunities are not there, it's only because maybe they don't have the right connection, the right contact, but we are able to deploy that force. If once we train the saloonist and all that, already we've partnered with some of the major brands in the country. So we give them all the hair dryers and hairdressers, everything that they need, and for them to start the business. Not as Ajiri looking forward to get any commission from them, but you see, once the youth are not generating income, even as a nation on the GDP, we fail. So that's
after you help them out, you deploy them out. You don't take commission.
No, we don't take commission because also honestly, that will be, even us, we are not, the grant that we received, we are not supposed to pay back. And I'd say these opportunities have been there. It's only that these funds, they land to the wrong people and people who are greedy. And they, instead of using where the fund has been allocated to do, they take them to their own advantage. And
actually, I just like to stop you right there, because after the break, we're going to discuss now the youth actually being leaders. Can people trust them out there? As Amani watakula pesa, the way you're saying, the funds are given to the wrong people. Anyway, guys, you've heard opportunities are out there, so just don't sit at home. It's about it's about discipline, as Brian said. Anyways, we'll be taking a short commercial break. Do not touch that dial, because after the break, we still have a lot more on what the youth want 2020. Remember, the hashtag is KTN Life and Style.